I've seen way too many people splurge on a budget scanner, only to end up with a paper jam nightmare, missing pages, or software that never talks to their accounting system. The regret is real, especially when you're trying to digitize contracts, receipts, or a whole filing cabinet and you realize the cheap unit can't keep up. So the question is, does the Fujitsu Fi 6670 feel like a smarter buy, or is it just another pricey gadget that promises a lot and delivers a little? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, I approached this review the way I'd approach any office purchase. I listed the tasks I need a scanner to handle, then I matched those against what the Fi 6670 actually offers. My own workflow includes scanning mixed batches of color brochures, black and white invoices, and sometimes double-sided contracts that need OCR for searchable PDFs. The biggest fear with any scanner is that it will choke on a stack of sticky note-covered pages or that the feed will double feed and skip a page, forcing you to manually rescan. That's why I paid close attention to the ultrasonic double feed detection and the intelligent scanning functions that Fujitsu touts. Speed is a headline feature, up to 90 pages per minute in color and 180 pages per minute in monochrome, both in landscape mode. In a real office setting that translates to about one full-size letter page every 0.66 seconds when you're scanning in black and white, which is the mode most accounting departments use. If you throw a 100-page contract bundle into the feeder, you're looking at roughly a minute and a half for a clean, searchable PDF. That's a massive time saver compared to hand-feeding each sheet or, worse, relying on a slower desktop scanner that takes a full minute per page. What really set this model apart for me was the ultrasonic double feed detection. The sensor listens for two sheets trying to pass through at the same time and stops the scan before any duplication happens. In practice, that means you can trust the machine not to skip a page when you load a mixed-size stack. I ran a quick test with a handful of glossy flyers and a few stapled invoices. The scanner flagged the staples automatically and didn't try to feed the two pages together. The software prompted me to remove the obstruction, which is far less frustrating than having to rescan later because a page went missing. The Fi 6670 also ships with a suite of intelligent functions that automate a lot of the grunt work. The built-in image processing hardware, powered by a color graphics adapter, cleans up background noise, straightens skewed pages, and enhances contrast on the fly. For example, I fed in a stack of old, yellowed receipts, and the output PDF looked surprisingly crisp. No need to manually tweak levels in Photoshop later. That hardware-level processing frees up your PC's CPU, which matters if you're scanning 180 pages per minute into a network folder while other staff are using the same workstation for data entry. On the software side, Fujitsu bundles Kofax VRS 4.5 Professional, a pretty solid OCR engine that turns scanned images into editable Word or Excel files. I used it to convert a batch of signed purchase orders into searchable PDFs, and the text recognition was accurate enough that a quick search for invoice hashtag pulled every relevant document without any manual correction. For small businesses that need to archive paperwork without hiring a separate data entry team, that feature alone adds real value. Now, let's talk about who should actually consider this machine. If you run a medium-sized office, a legal practice, or a medical clinic where you're dealing with high volumes of double-sided, color documents every day, the Fi 6670 is a sensible investment. Its fast duplex scanning, reliable feed detection, and bundled OCR software mean you can digitize a whole filing cabinet in a single afternoon without needing a tech specialist on standby. It also integrates nicely with common document management systems, so if you already have a SharePoint or Dropbox workflow, you can point the scanner straight at those folders. On the flip side, if you're a freelance graphic designer who only scans a few portfolios a month, or a home office that needs to scan a handful of receipts, the Fi 6670 is overkill. The unit's footprint, about the size of a small copier, and its price point make it more suitable for teams than for solo users. In those cases, a lower-cost sheet-fed scanner that handles 2030 pages per minute would be more than enough, and you'd avoid paying for features you never touch, like the advanced ultrasonic sensor. There are a couple of practical drawbacks worth mentioning. The feeder can hold up to 250 sheets, which is generous, but it struggles a bit with very thick cardstock or cardboard. I tried feeding a stack of glossy magazine covers and the feeder kept stopping, requiring me to manually separate the thicker sheets. That's not a deal-breaker for most office environments where paper weight stays within standard limits, but it's something to be aware of if you routinely scan marketing materials. Another nuance is that the machine relies heavily on the bundled software.